to the 1989 Goldpin Coca-Cola Classic. I'm your host, Chris Bombolas. Joining me in the commentary position is Terry Winband and Tom Curry. And it's a match, a first round one between Paul Morland of Woodridge here in Queensland and Greg Brooks of Taylors Lakes in Victoria. And Paul Morland, the local boy, has elected to bowl first. And a crucial start for this man. He's a former winner of this classic, the inaugural one in 1985. Well, there we go. 9 pins down. What happened there, Terry?
Well, he's, doing practice. Tom and I are only saying that they're not getting the ball up to the head pin. And as you see there, he's rolled his hand over the top of the ball. And these lanes, you've got to get the ball rolling. It's just stayed out, hasn't come back.
No mistake with the spare, and that closes the frame. This is Greg Brooks, a 27-year-old upholsterer from Taylors Lakes in Victoria. His career highlights: the 88 Victorian team. In 89, he won the Newcastle Open. He was runner-up in the Launceston Cup, runner-up in the Victorian and Southgate Opens, and he'd love to compete in the US Pro Tour. He is seeded 13th in this tournament, and his first delivery in a Coke Classic. Start by the youngster, Greg Brooks.
Tom, what did you think of that one?
Oh, that's a typical Greg Brooks shot, and that's probably the big difference between these two fellows. Greg is more of a cranker, and the people will see that he really gives the ball a lot of lift, and this makes the pins absolutely scatter like that shot there. Excellent start.
5 pin carrying out the 7 pin there.
He's doing a bit of work on the ball here for his second delivery. He moves across to lane 11. And during the seedings tournament, he averaged 201 with a high game of 265. His high game ever in a tournament is 289, as a series high of 786. Well, there we go. He hit the head pin fairly high that time, Terry.
He's dropped that one a little short. I think you'll see, when we get up to the replay here, you'll see he's dropped it a bit short. He's here we go. Put it down a bit short. His hand got a bit in front of his shoulder, got a bit in front of his shot. Just puts it down too short. Knows he's made a mistake.
Yeah, I noticed there too that when he had his first ball on lane 12, he was throwing it out to just inside the first arrow, and he was well and truly inside near the second arrow on his first shot there. No trouble with the spare.
And he closes that frame, does Greg Brooks, with a strike and a spare. And Paul Morland, now he's 36 years of age. He's from Woodridge in Queensland. He's bowled in 2 previous Cokes, hasn't got a bad strike rate. He won the inaugural one in 1985, is also the 86 Cool Foam Classic winner. His nickname is the Junkyard Dog, the JYD, and a fairly explosive bowler as well. He seemed to go a little Brooklyn that time.
Well, that was a wild one. He got away with it. In these tense matches, it's always good to get a loose shot in. We'll see here again. Rotates his shoulders, goes left, and these lanes hook a lot at the back end. The ball just runs away.
Here we go, pin cam. Got the desired result. Maybe a little lucky that time.
I think he was, but everybody has that in a game. I don't think there's a sport alive where a bit of luck doesn't count for something.
During the seedings tournament, Morland averaged 203 with a high game of 270.
Well, I think he thought, well, I got one, let's go for another. He's smiling there. He thinks it's great. He doesn't, right now, 1 game match, 10 shots a shot. He doesn't care. Look, he's just let it go. He hated the shot. Look at the look in his face. He's got the strike and he's gone, well, I'll be. Goodness gracious. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, I suppose he got the first strike as a Brook, and he thought, well, why not again?
Yeah, and that's the shots that...
This is Greg Brooks. Yeah, and he cleans him up too. Nice shot right in the bucket that time.
That was a good shot, as Tom said. On lane 12, he was getting the ball out.
And we have a look at the match, and it's the first round match between Morland and Brooks, and it's all square after 3 frames. Brooks now, it's all square after 3 frames, and the pressure on him. He's coming off a spare and a strike, and I'm sure he'd like to go for the double.
Yes, he knows if he can get a double here, he can match Paul's 2 lucky shots. right. Good shot. Good shot. What do you think there, Tom? He's playing a little bit, playing lane 11 a little bit more direct.
Yes, I was noticing, and really, if you look at both of them, they're both shooting out near the 6th board, while Paul is standing out wide to shoot over 6th board. Greg is standing in deep and shooting it out, and I think that's basically the difference between the two here. But on lane 11, the ball doesn't seem to be coming up as strong, and they're going a little bit tighter in at it.
Morland now. Well, that run's come to an end.
Yes, well, it always does. You know, good players, I'm sure Tom will agree that, you know, you'll play somebody that that goes Brooklyn a couple of times, and usually they come unstuck. You'll see it here, goes high, and he leaves a 6-10. He's happy with that.
Oh, a little bit of luck, I think, there to get that spare, but still, they're all down and the frame is closed.
Yes, I'm sure he wasn't happy with that shot, but he got away with it. You'll see it here. He just clips the 6-pin off the kickback, takes out the 10.
Back to lane 11. The plumber from Woodridge, Paul Morland. Yeah, that one looked much better that time, Tom.
That was really Paul's forte, and if you have a look, the greatest strength that he's got in bowling is his push away, and if you have a look at this shot here, he gets the push away beautifully out, nice follow through. He's put it right on line, and look at that, straight through the eye. Brilliant shot. He'd be very happy with that, and he'd be wanting to get a couple more in like that.
Pressure now really on Greg Brooks. He's got a double, looking at a turkey.
Didn't come up, Tom?
No, it didn't come up, strangely. Lane 12 has been coming up nice and strong. He tended to sort of pull back off the shot and couldn't quite get underneath it and give the ball a bit of meat to get all that pin action. And consequently, he's left the 4-pin. Should be no trouble to Greg, though, to pick up. And he'll move safely into the 6th frame.
Well, an amazing miss that time.
Isn't that incredible? Isn't that incredible? He would probably have 100 shots at that and spare it 100 times.
Pressure of the lights?
Definitely.
Also, I noticed he's moved to the left of the lane, and on these big hooking back ends, you move left and you're going to pick up more because there's no left-hander bowled out here yet. And the left-hand side is probably going to hook a little bit more. There's no carry down. They're both right-handers. They've been practicing on the lanes for 10 or 15 minutes beforehand. It wasn't a good shot at all. But here he goes. He should come back here with one, hopefully. Get himself going on a roll again.
Oh, looked fairly flush that time, but still 7-pin standing.
Yes, he hit light. That lane 11, Tom, definitely playing straighter.
Yep, no doubt. And it's just not having the same pin action effect, is it?
Now the ball, you'll see here, sliding down, just doesn't get back to the pocket. And consequently, the ball's not gripping the lane. He's got no roll on the ball going into the pins and just doesn't get the work on the pins.
Coming off an open frame, he'd like to close this one here. 7-pin standing. Gets that safely. Closes up the 6th frame. Now Paul Morland to reply. Morland way back in 85 was the winner of the inaugural Coke as we watched Brooks. And that one was dead on. And he realises that he had to make that one. Morland now coming off a strike in the 6th frame.
Taking a bit more time over this shot. Needs to get this one in the pocket. Well, what do you think, Tom?
Oh, look, he's definitely sort of rushed the line there. Paul normally finishes at the foul line. Very nice. And you can sort of see here that he's just backed right off, pulled the shot across his body. He wouldn't be happy with that at all.
Well, he spares up the 6th frame. And after 6 frames in the first round of the Coca-Cola Classic, it's Paul Morland in front by 11 pins.
This can be so accurate.
One of the main reasons is that they are not aiming at the pins, which are 60 feet away. They use these dots or arrows partway down the lane to bring their targets much closer.
Paul Morland now leads off in the 7th frame of this first round of the 89 Goldpin Coca-Cola Classic. And, of course, the winner of this tournament is off to the United States, Las Vegas, to the high roller competition with $4,000 in the kitty. And that tournament is worth $400,000. This is Morland. Once again, he went Brooklyn again, but it's proving successful on lane 11.
You know, in these sort of TV shows, a strike's a strike. He doesn't really, like, he's trying not to throw the ball there with everything. As you see the disappointment on his face there. Didn't like it at all, but it got the result. And that's all at the moment he's worrying about. And puts the pressure back on Greg.
This is Greg Brooks. Well, strike for strike they're going now, Terry. We're coming into the run home. This is really where it starts to count.
Yes, you're right. We're coming down to the last 3 frames of the game, and this is where it all counts. As you'll see this shot here, got a lot of determination on Greg's face. Gets the ball to come out really wide, gets a good pin action. He's happy with it.
Now he's working on that ball feverishly.
If you do that to get the oil off the ball, because, you know, having a bit of oil on the lanes, it comes up, gets up near your hand. You don't want it to get in your thumb hole and drop the ball while you're making your shot, so you get rid of it.
Come on, 10.
Oh, yeah, he called that one. Come on, 10. He got it.
Tom, what do you think? He needed that one or else he was out of it?
Well, he was very determined there, Terry, and boy, he needed that. He was 11 pins behind on the 6th frame, and really to sort of catch him, he needed that double, and now we've got a game on our hand.
As you can see there on that lane 11's still playing a little tighter.
Most definitely, but he took advantage of it that time.
Morland on lane 12. Well, what happened that time, Terry?
Well, he put the ball down. As you know, Paul's got a lot of Brooklyn strikes so far, so he won't have a lot of confidence. You see there, just the look on his face is just hope.
But that could have been, couldn't it? That was awfully close. I think, too, with the fact that lane 12 is hooking that little bit extra.
Spares up the 8th frame. There it is, Paul Morland from Woodridge, lane 11. A little light that time, Terry.
Yeah, Tom, the left lane again?
It is, yes. Yes, it really did. It just stayed out and didn't want to come up and bite. And that's normally the lead that you leave when that type of thing happens.
A bit of carry down, maybe?
Yes.
Oh, unlucky. Gee, he gave that every possible hope that time.
Look, because that play, you go for that spare 1,000 times, and that's just perfect.
That's the type of thing nightmares are made of. He hit it in the correct spot, and it's just the way the pin is shaped. It's flipped around it the wrong way.
Yeah, just wraps it around.
That's a bad break.
Big chance now for Greg. He's coming off a double, looking for a turkey here. That would really put him right back into calculations. Well, once again, the pressure's starting to take its toll, Terry.
Yes, and now, as we said before, coming into the last few frames of the game, that's where the pressure goes. Greg's pushed that one a little too far. You'll see here, he sent out. As you can see, Tom, it went down too far to past the break point. Didn't get back.
Yeah, he knew he'd made a mistake there. He accepted it, though, didn't he?
Well, you know, a lot of the times, what the heck, you know you've made a bad shot. He just wants to get on with it and pick the spare up, and it makes it okay.
Oh, well done. That was a nice piece of bowling that time from Greg Brooks. There's a quick look at the scoreboard, and we're at the end of the foundation fried.
Yes, you can see there where Paul went straight around it. He missed it by more, yet picked the spare up, didn't he, Tom?
Yeah, incredible. That's what I meant about Paul's bad luck. They both got it in the right spot.
There we are at the end of the 9th frame. It's all square, 174 apiece, but Greg Brooks coming off a spare. To the 1989 Goldpin Coca-Cola Classic, a first-round match between Paul Morland of Brisbane and Greg Brooks of Taylors Lakes in Victoria. Brooks has got the upper hand coming into this 10th frame here. He's coming off a spare, so would dearly love to strike out here.
Well, if he strikes out, he shuts Paul out. If he gets a double, Paul can't win.
There it is. That's the result.
Well, Paul started off with a couple of lucky shots. He had a bad break missed with that split that he put the ball around. You'll see here, Greg just throws it out through the nose, doesn't like it, gets the result. He's happy. He knows now if he gets one more, he wins the match. It's all over.
What can Paul do now? He has to sit there and wait, I would imagine.
Well, you know, no one admits to being bad sports, but I'm sure I know what he's thinking about.
I'm sure that split miss is still playing in his mind.
This is Brooks, though. Looking now for a double. Looks good, yes. A nice bit of bowling under pressure from Greg Brooks.
Well, this comes back to what I was talking about. I think Greg has a bit more experience out there than Paul. He's played a lot this year. That was probably the best shot he has bowled on lane 11 all game.
Yes, Terry, I couldn't agree more.
He's put it down early. The quicker lane, he's put it down earlier, and it's run well.
Yes.
See if he can make it 3 in a row. Be a nice finish. He'll be progressing to the second round. There it is, 3 in a row. Great finish there from Greg Brooks from Victoria. Well, Paul Morland, he realises it's all over.
Purely academic for Paul at the moment. He just gets up and goes through the motions. Greg just threw it straight at it. But a great shot. Interesting to note, the pressure's off for Greg, and all of a sudden he starts striking.
This is Morland. And again, he leaves the 10-pin standing.
Paul's still troubled by the same thing the whole game, isn't he, Tommy? His game's really gone the same way all through it.
Yes, Terry, he's not normally a Brooklyn shooter, and, you know, we look at about 80% of his shots that go on that side.
Spares it up safely. So he'll get one extra shot here. Some of the crowd here at Logan City Lanes enjoying the action in the first round of the Coca-Cola Classic. And Morland finishes with a 9.
Thank you. Thank you.
193.
Thank you very much.
Smiles all round for Greg Brooks. He progresses through to the second round, and unfortunately for the former winner Paul Morland, he bows out in round 1 of the 1989 Goldpin Coca-Cola Classic.